One of the biggest contributors of why people become alcoholic or why they suffer from alcohol use disorder later in life is from the environment that they grow up in and also the environment that they stay in later in life as an adult. We become really the environment that we find ourselves in, or the environment that we choose to be in. Unfortunately, growing up, we don't really have a choice. When we're a child, these are the cards that we get. And if you grow up with a family, if one or two of the parents are alcoholic or whatever the situation is, grandparents drink, siblings, cousins, friends that come over, and the environment is really supportive of alcohol consumption and maybe the overindulgence of alcohol consumption. And if that's normalized, let me put it this way: children don't do what we ask of them, they don't do what we say. Children do what we do, they become what we are as parents. And if you're continually drinking on a regular basis in front of children or around children, or you're enmeshing them into an environment where drinking is a daily occurrence, what do you think your child's going to do? They're going to think that's okay. They're going to think it's normalized, and they're going to go down that same route. They're going to go down the same path. And understanding that, as a parent, the first thing you can do is control what you do, because it's not about you, it's about your children and your children's children and your children's children's children. And really, my wife, for example, is a perfect example of that. And again, I was married for 25 years, and my wife passed away from alcohol use disorder almost 5 years ago. Her family culture was to drink wine every night. They drank wine with dinner whenever we got together. Certainly in the early years, they all drank Chardonnay. I mean, they would bring bottles of it into the house and sit around and drink. And I would be like, wine? I mean, I had never even had a glass of wine. Drinking wine was not part of my family culture. As a result, I didn't drink wine, and I didn't really drink anything. It just wasn't a big part of what I did. I grew up personally in a very athletic background. My father was a high school principal. He was a basketball coach, a football coach, and a baseball coach. Drinking wasn't a real big part of my life. My brother didn't really drink. I had an older brother that didn't drink. My sister didn't drink at all. My mother never ever drank anything. So environment has a big thing. This isn't about teetotaling, because I'm not a teetotaler either. But you have to put it in perspective. We become the environment that we grow up in for a large part. Now, if you mix in hereditary issue, like my wife, she definitely had a hereditary issue. Her grandmother passed away from alcoholism at an older age. She was in her 80s, which was amazing, because she had a very, very tough life, unfortunately, that I heard later on. And other family members had the same problem. So recognizing the environment that you're growing up in is the biggest contributor of why you may or may not go down this road of alcohol use disorder. And really, I talk about this issue because if you are going down this path, and you know that if you are, and there's a constant toxicity in your life, you're always arguing with the people, the loved ones in your life over this issue, okay, and you find yourself being around other people who drink, and that's normalized, and you find yourself maybe in a bar all the time or frequently. Okay, people in bars don't go there for their mental health. They think they do. They go there mainly to escape their life. That's what bars are about. It's an escape. And if you're into escaping and putting a band-aid, trying to cover up your repressed emotion or your anxiety or your stress or your insecurities or whatever it may be as a person, and you're finding yourself at watering holes and around people who drink all the time, you really need to step back and say, you know what, maybe this isn't for me. It's causing too many problems. Maybe you're getting yourself into financial problems, legal problems. Your productivity is lacking. Maybe you lost your job. You're having trouble at school, and your relationships really are all on the rocks because of the drinking. This is when you need to step back and realize you got to get away from your environment, and you have to have the critical thinking skills and the awareness. Your environment is playing a big role in why you are where you are and in the development of where you find yourself right now. And I talk about these things all the time in my coaching program. Recovery is all about reinvention. You have to reinvent yourself. Quite often I tell people, maybe you got to move. If your family's the problem, if your friends are the problem, go find new friends. Find new friends who don't drink. Find friends who do positive things. Okay, maybe find somebody that do athletic things. Maybe find somebody that, learn how to play guitar, learn a new language, go back to school, educate yourself. Paint, write, journal, do productive things away from the alcohol and away from the environment that has created where you are right now. We are the sum of our decisions. Where you find yourself today is the sum of our decisions, and it's also the sum of the people that we've decided to surround ourselves with. Be aware of that and act on that realization. And again, my wife's memoir is called Amanda, A Cautionary Tale of Alcoholism. It was a story of her 20-year decline with alcohol use disorder, and unfortunately she passed away almost 5 years ago. Again, you can find it on Amazon. You can also find it right in my link tree in the United States. It's on ebook on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and the Apple website. If you're looking for international, I will have an international publisher probably within the next 6 weeks. That's what I'm looking for. And again, I go live Monday through Friday right around 6 o'clock, 9 o'clock Eastern Time. We have the Facebook group. It's called Amanda, A Cautionary Tale of Alcoholism. We also, when you're ready to work with me one-on-one, I have a complete coaching program. Set up a call. It's called a breakthrough call. It takes about 45 minutes. We do a deep dive into what's going on with you and your family. I'm looking for people who want to change their lives and the lives of their family. And again, thanks so much for listening.